Very good afternoon, students. In this particular video, we will try to understand the small part of social psychology topic that is aggression. We all know that aggression and crime is definitely a part of social psychology topic. So aggression is basically an innate human quality which all of us have in our social life. And every individual in different social life would definitely express different kinds of aggression. So let us see what social psychologists have to talk about the topic on aggression. Aggression is a word that we use every day to characterize the behavior of others and perhaps even ourselves. We say that people are aggressive if they we say that people are aggressive if they yell or hit each other, if they cut off others' car in traffic, or even when they smash their fist on the table in frustration. So there are different acts people perform, and we all know that extreme form of aggression is called as violence. Extreme form of violence is termed as crime. So social excuse me. Social psychologists define aggression as a behavior that is intended to harm another individual who does not wish to be harmed. So we all know that aggressive acts are performed almost every day in the environment in which we are living. Most of the social psychologists had a small question as to, is aggression innate or is aggression learned? This is one of the debatable topic which always is persisting in the field of psychology. Do you think human behaviors are innate or human behavior are learned? There are a set of psychologists who always debate saying that yes, it is innate because it is hereditary by nature, because the traits are innate by nature. But there are a set of psychologists who equally argue with the same statement by telling that probably most of the human aggressive behavior is learned because the role of environment is much greater than the biological aspects. So, keeping this debate in mind, let us see what each of the social psychologists have tried to tell us on what aggression is all about. Do they finally tell that aggression is innate, or do they say that aggression is learned? So, for decades together, psychologists have debated whether aggression is innate or learned. Instinct theories proposes that the cause of aggression are internal by nature. So, when we talk about instinct theory, we all know that it is more related to the biological aspect of an individual. And indeed, we all know that instinct theory basically try to propose as saying that okay, most of the human behavior is basically innate by nature. So one among them who discussed about um, instinct theories, we all know it is Sigmund Freud. So Sigmund Freud argued that human motivational forces such as sex and aggression are based on instincts. So we are all born with that biological instinct to perform, and it is already there in our personality. It is strongly there in our biological aspects, and it is strongly imbibing in our evolution. Okay, so Sigmund Freud had a strong argument that aggression, if a person is showing an aggressive behavior, it is definitely because of instincts that is there in a individual. But when we talk a set of other psychologists who probably say that no, aggression is more learned, let us now try to talk about what one example of such psychologists is Albert Bandura. We all know that Albert Bandura proposed social learning theory in psychology. And we all know what social learning theory basically talks about. They say that every aggressive behavior is definitely learned from the environment. It depends on the kind of exposure that you have got in the environment. So it moves back to the parenting style, it moves back to the parenting nurturing, and the way you are exposed in the environment. If a child is always exposed to a very aggressive environment, there is all possibility that they probably imbibe those behaviors in them. So one such very, very popular experiments we all know conducted by Albert Bandura is the Bobo doll experiment. Sorry, it is called the Bobo doll experiment. Yeah, we all know what the Bobo doll experiment is all about, where probably Albert Bandura puts children into different experimental situations where they are given different kinds of toys, and they were being, uh, you know, they were being paired with different kinds of videos. So in certain videos where a lot of non-aggressive aspects were there, in certain videos where there is terrible form of aggression. Later when the behavior was analyzed, we all know that the result indicated that if you're more exposed to the videos or more exposed to the environment where violence and aggression is taking place, probably you will also tend to develop that behavior. So, in conclusion, we would like to probably say that, yeah, most of us need to come to a neutral attitude saying that aggression is both. It is some quality of the innate qualities where definitely our instincts are involved, and on a larger extent, it also depends upon the environment in which you're exposed to. Now, let us, in continuation, try to understand how to prevent aggression. So, as a social psychologist, what would be your role in prevention of aggression? The first important concept we all are aware of is catharsis. Catharsis is again a concept which was predominantly used by Sigmund Freud in his therapies. And we know what catharsis is all about. Probably venting out all your bottled up emotions. So, catharsis is one way that you are trying to ventilate your bottled up emotions, which probably will prevent you from doing any kind of aggressive behavior. Many a times, people tend to hold their fist very tight when they want to show some kind of aggression. Sometimes people tend to randomly pick up some objects and they try to throw when they are having any kind of aggression. Probably catharsis could be one room for an individual to ventilate his feelings. The second important prevention strategy that we can apply as a social psychologist is talking therapy. So, we all know that counseling, psychotherapy, and guidance can probably help an individual to make themselves realize as to what they are going through. Many a times, if an individual is undergoing any kind of psychological problem, he is not definitely aware of what he is trying to do with his behavior because of thoughts and feelings and mixed emotions he's going through. So, probably talk therapy could be another way out in such kind of circumstances. The third important point is judicious early childhood training. Definitely, yes. Attachment styles, parenting styles, and the kind of nurturing that happens during childhood can prevent a lot of aggression. So, during the childhood, if you're able to mold the behavior of the child, We are trying to avoid different kinds of aggression in the future. Non reinforce action. Non reinforce action is a very simple concept which basically tries to tell us that you need to stop reinforcing the aggressive behavior. So, through different kinds of positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, as well as providing token economy technique, we can help the child not to perform any kind of negative reinforcement behavior which is harmful in the environment. The next important point is showing cultural sensitivity. It's very important to spread awareness about the socio-cultural sensitivity for people who are performing aggressive behavior. So probably helping them to make them realize the importance of society, the importance of citizenship, the importance of how you are also part of the society becomes very, very important. And probably the last point under the prevention of aggression is developing positive superego. Help the child to develop a positive superego. We all know what superego is all about because superego, according to Sigmund Freud, operates on the ethics and value system of an individual. It is very important as a social psychologist, we need to uphold the superego aspect of an individual so that a lot of criminal or aggressive or violent activities does not take place. So these could be few of the basic prevention strategies that we can apply for the aggression. I hope this video has helped you to get a small understanding as to what is aggression, whether aggression is innate or learned, and finally, how to prevent aggression. Thank you.